Yeah, it was crazy, and it took me ages to wash the smell off my finger. Oh, hi! Crikey, I didn't realise the show had started already. Wow, seriously got to get me a longer intro sting. Anyway, welcome to the latest half-hour instalment of Platform 32, and it's stuffed fuller than Lara Croft's bra with exclusive interviews, reviews, and video game-related shenanigans, all for you to watch while you sit in your favourite comfy chair and spoon cheesy Doritos into your gobble. Other triangular corn chip style snacks are available. On today's show, I get transported inside my very own punchy punch adventure in my Kung Fu High Impact review. I try out some serious journalism stuffs when I visit Opus Artz, one of the UK's leading video game concept art studios. I don't bake Drake a cake or give him a shake or make him a snake out of a rake in my Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception review. I give you guys the lowdown on the Nerdfield Showdown, which was the awesome London Gaming Con, and I find out exactly how much Ninja Gaiden 3 will make me cry in our exclusive chat with Peter Garza from Team Ninja. But first, here's some new info on a game Platform 32 are very excited about. But please, don't pay attention to the guy that's just about to speak. He's a bit of a jerk.
I'm Jared Garrison. Thank you for watching Platform 32. Ian sucks. Massively.
Motherfucker. That beardy chap that just popped up there was none other than Gerd Gertsen, project lead on one of the best looking and most anticipated free-to-play PC-based first-person shooters of 2012. You may remember we caught up with Gerald Gritson recently at E3, where he let us in on all the juicy details about the follow-up to Blacklight Tango Down. The game doesn't release fully until sometime next year, but it has just entered the closed beta phase, so I thought it would be as good a time as any to email him some rubbish questions in the hope that he would answer them in a semi-professional way. But I hoped wrong. Now Gerard, could you explain to us a little about the new game point system, player bounties, and how they all tie in with your game's weapon depots?
The bounty system has a really big part to do with the gameplay or the game point system, in sense of if I kill a high-ranked player or if I kill a player that has been going on a tear and killing everyone, I get more points. And the whole part is the game points now in Blacklight 2 has to do with the weapon depots. And when you get to a weapon depot, you're able to buy these larger weapons that you couldn't put into your customization system. So the big thing is the bounty bases allow you to buy the hard suits or the flamethrowers a lot quicker. So that's kind of how that whole system works.
Considering you guys value the opinions of the Blacklight community so much, will you be taking suggestions from them in the future for new guns which could feature as possible purchasable weapons in the weapon depots?
Yeah, the weapon depot is one of our huge items that allows us to add more larger weapons, more hard suits, more crazier weapons, and bringing in some community members or listening to the feedback will allow us to bring in crazier items, which we will definitely listen to the community from Tango Down to Blacklight Retribution. There's been a lot of feedback that we've heard from the community that we've actually really wanted to hear that we went for, and so yeah, I think that if community members are being vocal about cool new weapon depot items, I think that we'll definitely listen to them and add those in.
So, you recently demoed the new King of the Hill mode in Blacklight Retribution. What other new game modes will be available in the game once it launches?
King of the Hill is a new addition to the game with game modes. Luckily enough, with free-to-play being a constantly growing game system, we're able to add more game modes into it, such as Conquest. We've got 3 or 4 modes that we're actually working on prototyping right now that will be coming out after we go to release. And so we'll keep on moving on with new game modes, as well as coming out with even crazier 1-month game modes that might go away if people don't like them. The cool thing about free-to-play is we're able to quickly test these things out, upload them onto the PCs, see how players like them or don't like them, and then we can either keep them and keep on going with it, or we can just take it out and deal with that.
So, throughout this interview, you've been seeing some stunning gameplay footage which looks leagues above the graphics of Blacklight Tango Down, and the great thing is, this footage is over a month old now, and I've been assured that the final game will have even more polish, and I literally can't wait to get my hands on it. Hadouken! Kung Fu High Impact is every big kid's dream, promising to put you inside your own high-kicking adventure and give you superhuman powers as you beat off legions of badass bad guys. Its comic book-inspired capers follow straight on from the ending of the PlayStation iGame Kung Fu Live, which received a very positive review from yours truly when it came out on Sony's console last year. Its full-bodied fighting fun was innovative and original, but it was majorly let down by the fiddly nature of setting up the camera so the game could actually pick you up properly. Sorting out the background and wearing the right coloured clothes was a major ball ache, and it was pretty much nigh on impossible to get it perfect unless you had a green screen and lighting rig built into your front room. Thankfully, with this Kinect exclusive sequel, none of these problems exist. It's very much plug and play, and Kinect does an amazing job at picking you out from the background straight away with no preparation needed. Kia! The special moves like the ground pound and lightning strike have all been brought back for the sequel, along with a few new touches such as collectible power-ups which increase your damage or health, and also a power-up which awards you a magic bow and arrow. I really wasn't keen on this though. The game would often fail to recognise that I was trying to fire my arrows, or it will confuse my actions with that of a power punch and send me flying towards the enemies that I was trying to shoot. The levels which featured the bow really interrupted the cool kung fu action, and I couldn't wait to get past these sections and get back to laying the smackdown with my fists and feet. Props have to go to the menus though, which are very easy to navigate and very responsive to your motions. A lot of Kinect-based menu systems have been a nightmare to navigate and select options in, but on Kung Fu High Impact they work perfectly. Tiger Uppercut! Story mode in Kung Fu High Impact, while fun, is pretty easy and can be completed in a relatively short time, so the custom fight creator is a welcome addition to the package. Here you can indulge in multiplayer action as up to 4 of your friends control enemies with joypads as you take them on via Kinect, or you can take on waves of enemies horde mode styly in the survivor mode. There is even a mayhem designer where you can create your own rules for the fights, mess around with the speed, difficulty and enemy waves, and you can create some interesting circumstances in which to test your skills. Kablowie! For kids and immature grown-ups like me who have always wanted to be ass-kicking, monster-smashing ninjas, Kung Fu High Impact is a must-have game for Kinect. It has its fair share of flaws, the level design is bland and boring, the story mode is basic at best, and it has its fair share of problems with regards to Kinect responsiveness, but for a bit of Kung Fu fantasy fulfillment, it really can't be beat. Plus, most importantly, when Kinect was first announced, the thing that made gamers the most excited was the promise of the unit actually putting us in the game. Most titles ended up just asking us to mimic movements in front of our TVs in a weird Simon Says style, but Kung Fu High Impact is one of the few games available which actually puts you right in there amongst the action. It still hasn't toppled Fruit Ninja Kinect as my favourite Kinect title, but it does manage to make Kinect more of that boys' toy we all wanted, rather than the keep fit and dance accessory which it has inevitably and sadly become, and for that I applaud it.
I'll get you for that.
I totally kicked that guy's ass. I are Ninja. Talking of ninjas, we've got an exclusive interview with Peter Garza from Team Ninja, the developers of Ninja Gaiden 3, coming up later on in the show. But after the break, we'll be checking out the inner workings of a video game concept art studio and finding out from the people who work there how to get into that side of the industry. Plus, I'll be getting my adventure on with Indiana Jones wannabe Nathan Drake in my Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception review. Stay glued to the screen or your family will explode! Disclaimer, your family will not explode if you move away from the screen. Welcome back, chaps and femi chaps. At Platform32, we realise the world of gaming has many different facets. So, coming up in the show, alongside my review of Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception and our exclusive preview interview with Peter Garza about Ninja Gaiden 3, I'll also be bringing you a news report from a recent gaming convention in London that I had the pleasure of attending. But before all that, ever wanted to design your own video game characters? For a living? Well, this guy does, but who is he?
Hi, I'm Chi Wong, the Creative Director of Opus Artz, and you're watching Platform 32.
All those video games you play, they don't just appear out of nowhere, you know. There are at times hundreds of people behind the scenes working day and night to create these interactive works of art, and some of the first people in that creative chain are the concept artists who take the ideas of the game's developers and create beautiful, detailed illustrations and 3D models which help the in-game artists craft believable worlds for us to gallivant around in. I was privileged enough to be granted access to one of the UK's leading video game concept art houses, Opus Artz, to check out what goes on behind the scenes and chat to a couple of the main people who work there, including Dr. Chi Wong, the founder of Opus Artz himself. So Chi, why do you think conceptual art is such an important part of video games development nowadays, and how exactly does Opus Artz cater for this side of the industry?
Traditionally, conceptual art used to be a tiny portion of the games industry, where they may have just one or two concept artists in-house. And as of late, the games genre has diversified to social, casual game, and a very hotly contested AAA genre. And as such, for the AAA market to flourish very well, they found that conceptual art is leading from the beginning all the way to the end of the production, just before they ship for gold. And as such, there's a very large explosive field of conceptual art studios being required all the way through, ranging from illustrations, promotional, marketing, and production design. As such, Opus Artz is one of the leading production studios for conceptual art, and we focus really on believable functional designs where each asset is made bespoke for the client. We believe in working as part of the client team, just helping out in any possible way so that the client has the best end result collectively.
Nice! As you can see here, Chi is a talented artist himself, and he uses the latest Wacom tablet to produce his work. The lead artist and creator of the majority of the studio's most impressive pieces, though, is this chap, Bjorn Huri. So Bjorn, tell us, what the freak is a video game concept artist, and what do you do?
Well, a concept artist in the video game industry visualizes an idea that usually the designers or creative directors have of the grand vision of the game. So we get handed down information of what they want to see or a character or monster has to do, and it's up to us to visualize it and troubleshoot it visually to ensure that the product is as interesting as possible in the end.
Nice! And how does concept art help towards the overall success of a title?
I think it's personally, because I'm in the industry, I think it's extremely important because as an artist you have the ability to mold the world a lot more and make sure that this is interesting and tantalizing for the gamers. As an avid gamer myself, I really want to push that aspect of the games further.
What a hero! I would kill to be involved in the process of creating a video game and seeing it come to life, and I think most of you P32 viewers will feel the same. So the next time you play a game and fight a fantastical monster or fly an amazing spaceship, give a thought to the concept artists like those from Opus Artz who have worked from the very beginning of the development process to produce these amazing worlds, characters and vehicles for you to play in and with, because without them, video games as we know it would be a hell of a lot less interesting. Well, Sony's very own Indiana Jones-esque poster boy Nathan Drake is back once again, bringing along his trademark imposter jumps and sharpshooting skills in Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, the newest instalment to the PlayStation 3's exclusive series. In the last Uncharted game, Nate was put up against a vicious Serbian war criminal. A scary villain indeed, but nowhere near as dark and menacing as his fearsome foe this time around. The villain in question is actually a villainess called Catherine Marlowe, and this bitch is fricking twisted. Seriously, she makes Margaret Thatcher look like a Care Bear. She's a thoroughly nasty piece of work, easy to hate and brilliantly written and voiced to perfection. It's an incredibly refreshing change to have a female antagonist that actually seems genuinely evil. Well played.
I merely want what's mine.
The game starts off in London, somewhere in the sleepy suburbs of Stereotypesville, where every inhabitant of the local pub Nate visits is a variation on the flat cap wearing, super stocky skinhead football hooligan type. Other levels include deserted desert ghost towns, the usual Crypt/Lost City base levels, and even a huge capsizing pleasure cruise ship. However, some of the most interesting levels happen right at the start in the form of flashbacks, where you take control of young Drake, and we get to learn a little about how Nathan and Sully came to be the wisecracking tomb raiding duo we know and love.
Let go of me.
Ah, that's what I thought. Now don't try to run.
The hand-to-hand combat has basically been improved this time around, and to make it more of a gameplay feature, the developers have now added brute-class bad guys to the mix. These burly buggers take a lot of beating, so learning how to counter and dodge properly is vital for your survival. It all becomes a bit dull and repetitive after a while though, as you soon realise that going toe-to-toe with these guys is basically just a simple quick-time event with the same button outcomes each time. The game really could have done with some kind of combo system similar to the recent Batman games in order to make the fisticuffs a little bit more exciting. Maybe in Uncharted 4, eh guys? As per other Uncharted games, expect plenty of those aggravating moments where after a long drawn out moment of cliff climbing, Nate just jumps to his death in some random direction that you are not expecting or wanting. It happened to me loads. Aim for the ledge to the left, Drake jumps backwards and ends up smashing his spine on a jagged rock. Weak. Yeah, it could just be my inability to control the game properly, but I doubt it. I think it's just got occasionally dodgy climbing controls. Well, either that or Computer Drake has developed artificial intelligence and he's actually suicidal. Or even just enjoys being a complete and utter game-ruining arsehole just for the hell of it. With added co-op and competitive multiplayer, this game will be an absolute treat for die-hard Uncharted fans. The compelling story, cinema-style direction, and believable characters makes it hard not to recommend this game, but there are still a lot of improvements that could be made to the gameplay before this naughty dog turns into a really good dog. See what I did there? Naughty dog? Good dog? Because the developers are naughty dog. Oh, fuck it. Just to clarify, I said fug it just then. F-U-G. I didn't say a swear. I just made up a word that sounded like one, because I is rock and stuff. So that's part 2 done and done, and you only have to wait for this very short break to be over before I finally strain hard enough to pass the last steaming nugget of gaming goodness right onto your welcoming lap. After the obligatory ads, I give you all the goss from the London Gaming Con. What could you do there? Was it any good? And I'll be speaking to Peter Garza from Team Ninja about their upcoming Assassin 'em Up, Ninja Gaiden 3. Will it be hard as nails like the others? In a word, yes. Oh, crap, I've spoiled the interview. Damn. Keep watching though, Peter says other stuff. Honest. Sup homies, it's the last part of the P32 special and it's banging in your face right now. Watch this part and once it's over you can finally get on with the important things in life, like playing video games. To top off the show like a blood-soaked cherry on a stab-flavoured ice cream, I interview Peter Garza about Ninja Gaiden 3 and find out all the gory details about Ryu Hayabusa's newest murderathon. But before that, in December of 2011, I was invited to the London Gaming Con in London to play games, meet fellow gamers and talk about making gaming-related YouTube videos in front of a live audience. Who were alive? Here's what happened. Thanks to the invention and rapid growth of the internet, gamers have finally been brought together, not only by their love of shooting each other in the face in online gaming sessions, but also by sharing their love of the medium via blogs, websites, and even via videos and music. But sometimes conversing over the interwebs is not enough. Sometimes even gamers need to speak to people face to face. So when the guys at AnimeLeague.net decided to hold the London Gaming Con recently and invite P32 along, I leapt at the chance to attend and meet up with my fellow gaming geeks. The whole event took place over 2 days and was a massive celebration of all things gaming. Not only were there loads of playable consoles dotted around, ranging from the latest generation through to really obscure retro machines, but there are also public gaming and card tournaments with cash prizes and a huge amount of stalls in the main arena full of amazing gaming treasures like video game inspired t-shirts and toys, hard to find retro games by the truckload, and even authentic Japanese sweets. Nom nom. Entertaining drinkers by the bar at the secondary stage was an impressive lineup of game-inspired musicians, including big names like Zonic, Temphubis, Cold Storage and Area 11, while upstairs on the main stage, video game-related internet celebrities hosted Q&A panels and quizzes, including big names like Brental Floss, who jetted over from America especially, and who performed live to the bar folk after his talk, and also Tat Tormentor Ashens, who hosted a panel by himself and then joined members of ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com in a group Q&A. Crazily, even I got up on stage alongside fellow YouTubers and part-time P32 collaborators Guru Larry and Wesley Locke from TV's Wes and Larry's Top 10s fame, and also host of the super popular machinima game show Last Man Standing, It's My Yard, to talk about how we make our YouTube videos and answer questions from other keen YouTubers. Sadly, most of the attendees will agree that the Q&A panels were savagely let down by the appalling audio problems brought on by the subpar equipment and the fact that the panels were conducted in the same room as the gaming tournaments and the huge bustling flea market. On-stage acts couldn't hear each other speak and the audience could hardly hear the answers to their questions. It proved to be rather frustrating, but it was thankfully the only blight on an otherwise thoroughly enjoyable 2 days of video game-based tomfoolery. So if the convention makes a deserved return next year and you are in any way a video game lover, then the London Gaming Con is definitely an event you will want to mark in your 2012 calendar. Because, to be fair, according to those sneaky Mayans and their movie-making mate Roland Emmerich, the world is going to end in December of next year anyway, so you might as well spend your last remaining days playing some sweet-ass video games in the company of like-minded individuals. Or you could spend them with your family and loved ones, I guess, but come on, you've had your whole life to hang out with those losers. Live a little.
Hi, my name's Peter Garza. I'm the overseas producer for Team Ninja, and you're watching Platform 32.
The Ninja Gaiden games, along with their stab-happy hero Ryu Hayabusa, first made an appearance in the arcades and on the Nintendo Entertainment System in late 1988. Fast forward 23 years, and after a couple of hard-as-nails current-gen reimaginings, modern-day gamers now are rubbing their sweaty nunchuckers together in anticipation for Ninja Gaiden 3, the latest game in the series from Team Ninja and Tecmo Koei. I hid in the shadows at this year's Eurogamer Expo in London and pounced on Peter Garza, the overseas producer from Team Ninja, and threatened to punch him in the ninpo if he didn't fill us in on all the juicy details. Speak, Peter, speak! Don't make me do something you'll regret.
Ninja Gaiden 3 starts off a little bit after the events of Ninja Gaiden 2, but it's not directly connected as a sequel, so feel free to jump in if you've never played a Ninja Gaiden game before. It starts off with the main character, Ryu Hayabusa, at home, and a couple of Japanese military people come up and say, terrorists have taken over London, they're calling for your head, so you go clean it up. So he jets off to London and tries to clean up that mess, but gets wrapped up in all sorts of other craziness, and that's where sort of the story kicks off.
Gotta love a bit of craziness. So the Ninja Gaiden franchise has been around for yonks, yo! What new stuffs is Team Ninja bringing to the franchise this time around?
For Ninja Gaiden 3, we're really trying to make it a more immersive experience than in the past. We're focusing on the story of the main character, Ryu Hayabusa, and making him this Japanese dark hero. To that end, we've added sort of these, what we call steel on bone segments, where we want to really give you the feeling of cutting someone down with a sword. When you're, that close and the blood is spraying on you and you're hearing their dying breaths in your ear, the camera will zoom in and really give you that visceral violence, and sort of a more mature take on violence than what we've done in the past.
The Ninja Gaiden games are known for their brutal difficulty. Will Ninja Gaiden 3 still be tough as old boots, or will you be implementing a way for rubbish players like myself to be able to get through to the end of the game without crying? Oh, and while Peter is answering, check out these screenshots from the online portion of the game. Peter couldn't talk about it at the time of the interview, so you know as much as we do about that, but the screenshots look nice anyway.
For existing fans, we want to make sure that they're pleased, and we know that people who have cleared Ninja Gaiden games on, Ultimate Ninja level, that's like a source of pride, where there's a badge of honor. So we definitely want to keep that challenge there for the people who want it. But yeah, there are plenty of other people that have thrown their controllers away because of the difficulty, and there are even more people that have never played a Ninja Gaiden game before. And for those people, we think that it's not just a matter of putting in an easy mode and 10 levels of difficulty, and you can choose the easy or the very easy, because nobody wants to choose easy. You see that on a menu, it's I'm better than easy. Come on.
Fair play, Peter. Thanks for speaking to us. So, a lot of Ninja Gaiden knowledge has been gained here, and from the looks of things, Team Ninja have been working their little ninja socks off to bring us a title that will give existing fans all they have ever wanted from a Ninja Gaiden game, while also making it appealing to those new to the franchise, which thankfully is always appreciated. Wow, it's over? Already? But I want more, I hear you cry. Well, luckily for you, there are extended versions of all these reviews, interviews and features over on our Platform32 YouTube channel, alongside loads of other exclusive videos and competitions. Plus, if you ever fancy getting in touch with me directly, you can always pop along to the Platform32 Facebook and Twitter pages and join in with all the gaming related chat that goes on within. Links to all those sites are located in the end credits, so grab a pen and then get interneting, my friends. Happy gaming, y'all. See you all next time.